Dear GCSP alumni, colleagues and friends. It is a great pleasure, an honor for me to greet you from Geneva and open our annual event, the Global Alumni Networking Night, GANN as we call it. At the GCSP, we consider the alumni network an indispensable asset to live our vision, to connect and to share with you. For this reason, we are committed to regularly provide networking opportunities for our alumni on various occasions worldwide. Tonight, we gather in numerous capitals reaching from Brasilia to Tokyo. During these testing times we find ourselves currently in, it fills me with optimism to witness our strong alumni community by which each and every one of us can connect across borders, reach out and share thoughts and ideas. As you are aware, much international attention has focused on the invasion of Russia and Ukraine in recent months. This war, with far-reaching global repercussions, serves as a painful reminder of the need for dialogue and cooperation. And the war reveals how much we depend on each other. And as we all immerse ourselves in enriching discussions tonight, I invite you to reflect on our current security environment with an open mind and a spirit of cooperation. For this, let me share some food for thought from my side on global repercussions linked to the current war in Ukraine. Less with a focus on the situation in Europe, but more with one on all other regions of the world. I hope that these elements can serve as an input and starting point for your discussions at the GANN. The war in Ukraine indeed reverberates to almost every corner of the globe. The blockade of the Ukrainian ports has drastically reduced the amount of wheat shipped worldwide. Miles away from the Black Sea coast, the Horn of Africa is now experiencing one of the most violent food crises in its history. In Somalia, 26 million people are expected to experience extreme hunger by February 2023. Middle Eastern countries are also highly affected by this food crisis. In Syria, this phenomenon is paralleled by rising competition between the powers controlling its territory. The war in Ukraine represents a tempting opportunity for Iran to extend its influence in northeast Syria, taking advantage of Russia's distraction with the war. A similar situation is unfolding in the South Caucasus, where we have witnessed the most severe ceasefire violations since October 2020 in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. Further north, in Central Asia, growing instability following the invasion of Ukraine is also a concern. Since the beginning of hostilities, hundreds of foreign fighters left the region to fight in Ukraine. This phenomenon raises the issue of these fighters returning to their countries in the future, and perhaps joining organized crime or extremist organizations. The negative consequences of the war have not spared even the furthest countries from Ukraine. In Latin America and the Caribbean, growing oil and wheat prices are driving a worrying surge in inflation rates. In a region which has not yet recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic, less purchasing power resulting from inflation will exacerbate the complex living conditions of many people and driving political instability. Other regions, seemingly isolated from the effects of the war, are impacted by the conflict because of their trade connections. In Southeast Asia, Indonesia is a strong trade partner both of Russia and Ukraine, and it is therefore vulnerable to the upheavals of the war and the sanctions. In Asia, Chinese strategic and trade interests are starting to be affected by the war, as demonstrated by the Belt and Road Initiative. The conflict has caused a significant drop in rail trade. At the same time, the war holds relevance for Beijing beyond the merely economic sphere, also influencing its policy towards Taiwan. On the one hand, the complications encountered by the Russian military may have helped deter Chinese ambitions towards the island for the time being. However, the war may also lead China to question the United States' resolve to support Taiwan should it be attacked. From a similar point of view, the war in Ukraine poses daunting geopolitical and security issues to Europe. Besides the evident energy crisis affecting many countries, the threat of nuclear escalation is deeply concerning as the conflict prolongs. Also in the Western Balkans, the already fragile stability has been undermined by the war in Ukraine. The region is faced with divisions and opposing approaches to this conflict. It is plagued by lingering problems of territorial disputes, challenging relations with the European Union, migration and economic issues. As we witnessed at the recent debates in the UN General Assembly and the Security Council, the war has also increased tensions and distrust in multilateral institutions and rendered some of them dysfunctional. To conclude, the war has brought global instability, risks and challenges to people's security and lives. In light of these challenges to global security, I hope that today's alumni event provides a space for you to connect and engage in timely discussions. I invite you to take up the points I have mentioned and to continue to discuss the current state of global security, in particular from your region's perspective. We at the GCSP will continue to reflect on these issues as well and would be happy to hear about your insights, thoughts and ideas for a better tomorrow. Now I'm pleased to introduce you to our Head of Alumni Community Engagement, the driving force in developing and nurturing this diverse and impressive network. Thank you for joining the GANN. I wish you a great alumni event.
Thank you, Thomas. And also from my side, a warm hello to you, dear alumni, from around the world. The delicate art of creating collaboration is the utmost importance here for us at the GCSP. We're committed to regularly provide you with networking opportunities and bring you together to enable the inclusion of varied perspectives in your dialogues. I wish you really a fantastic GANN with enriching exchanges. I'd like to highlight that we will pursue our discussions after the GANN all throughout the year and across the local borders with our new events, the Regional Security Conversations, organized in collaboration with our alumni community hubs. Western Balkans, Central Asia, and India are coming up in the immediate future. And a smaller reminder to all of you to look up fellow alumni and reach out to them. You have the GCSP Alumni Directory available on our My GCSP platform. I look forward to hearing from you on the GANN or any other suggestions that you may have. Enjoy the GANN. Cheers from Geneva to all of you.